Mark, thanks for your time this afternoon. A lot of work has already taken place at Portman Road over recent months, but what can we expect to see in the coming months?
You're right, there has been a lot of work undertaken. We joined June 1st last year, and there's been a team of people behind the scenes working extremely hard. You've seen a lot of changes on the pitch that we've talked about time and time again. A lot of players in, a lot of players out, new manager in. And I think you start to see the fruits of that labour with Kieran, his backroom staff, and the performances that are starting to emerge from that. But what supporters and stakeholders don't see is the volume of work that people are undertaking behind the scenes in regards to infrastructure. One of the things that was very clear when we first take over the club, that this was a real big club. It was a big club that we've said before had been run down and needed investment in infrastructure. And I know there's been some noise on social media over the last few days in relation to some of the work that we've formally now applied for planning permission for. So over the coming months, supporters are going to start to see some of that work come to life. And that starts with the southeast corner. We've applied for planning permission to break through the corner. And that's really important because that firstly gives us far better access and egress to the Portman Road Stadium. Currently it's difficult to get big machinery and big vehicles onto this site. We're doing that primarily because we need to put a new pitch in. And again, we've talked about this before. The pitch and the quality of the pitch, a modern pitch, is really important to Kieran, the coaches, the backroom staff and the players. It's a key enhancer of our performances. So that pitch, the order for that pitch will be placed very shortly, but it's important to note that pitch will not be in place for the start of next season. We simply do not have the timeline to do that because of the additional infrastructure works we have to do in advance. And some of those infrastructure works we can't start until the last game of the season has been completed. So yes, we will apply for the breakthrough of the southeast corner and we'll plan for the pitch, which will start in circa 12 months' time. But that'll be a modern pitch. And that's really important. There's never been a modern pitch in place at Portman Road. I'm not quite sure what we're going to find when we dig down on this football pitch, but the best type of pitch will be put in place, which will serve this club for many, many years ahead. Other key infrastructure projects are going to take place this summer. We are going to change the dugout area. The dugout area simply isn't that at the level that we need. The dugouts are too close together. They're old, they're tired, so we're going to put in modern infrastructure around the dugouts. And again, that work will be started at the end of the season, and that will be complete, obviously, by pre-season. Again, it's fair to note that the seats behind the dugouts, because I know people are going to ask, those will not be available for sale. A few will remain, but the majority of those seats will go. And again, we'll be communicating that to season ticket holders and ticket holders who sat in those seats prior to the pandemic, because again, those seats haven't been used probably for the last 12 to 18 months. But that whole area will be redeveloped, and we'll be communicating around that over the coming weeks. One of the things that the supporters have consistently complained to me about is the quality of the tannoy system and the PA system. The order has been placed and that work will commence, and again by the start of pre-season there will be a totally new tannoy system in Portman Road that will give us far better audio around the stadium. So again, that's a key piece of infrastructure work that's taking place. We're starting to, if you like, digitalise the stadium. Fans will see when they return for pre-season and the start of next season, we will have digital advertising boards in place, and the plan is to have those on 3 sides of the stadium, again moving us into a digital area and allowing us to drive more revenue and professionalise again our infrastructure at the stadium. And again, on the back of digital platforms, I know supporters have talked to me time and time again about a big screen. That is proving to be a little bit of a challenge at the moment on where we put the big screen. We've looked at the southeast corner, and it may be an opportunity to put it there. We're looking at other options in the stadium at the moment, and that's purely due to sight lines and where it sits best. But again, a big screen is something that we're looking at putting in place, and we're working currently on the best place to put that. Behind that, we've talked again about it with supporters, we are investing in our whole IT infrastructure right across the board. Whole new IT infrastructure is more or less in place now at Portman Road. There's a new till system that's going in to both commercial and corporate areas of the stadium. That started to be rolled out last week. It's a busy time. There are lots and lots and lots of things going on.
the fans have been turning out in their numbers all year, so how important is it that we give back to them in improving that matchday experience here?
I think it's key. We've talked about this before. We've got to improve infrastructure, which will ultimately improve the environment. We've looked to improve the fan zone this year, and there's much more work to do on that. But it's not just one area. There are so many different areas that we have to work on. There will be a new access system to the stadium. Again, digital age. We need to look at a new CRM system. All the orders have been placed. It's huge investment from the owners, and again I can only thank them because they're determined to put the infrastructure in place to take this football club forward, but there is a lot to do.
One thing we've not mentioned there, although it has been sort of worked on in the fan zone, is the catering on a match day as well.
Yeah, again, watch this space. There'll be further announcements coming out in relation to catering, and I'm delighted to announce something that we've been working on for the last 2 or 3 months now. Is the club has formally acquired the land behind the Sir Alf Ramsey stand. So the old Better Gym facility, the office outlets, the car parking at front and rear to those facilities are now in the ownership of the football club. And that's really important because in the short term that gives us flexibility, and in the long term it's actually probably the only piece of land around the stadium that we could acquire that we could further develop on. And we'll look at plans in the medium to long term that we develop on that site facilities that enhance the football club. So that's a big step. And again, thank you to the owners. They've made sure the funds were available to buy that, to protect, to own the land around the stadium. This football club is only going in one direction. And again, you see the results on the pitch instantly. You can't see the results of the work off the pitch instantly. But again, there's a team of people that have worked tirelessly behind the scenes. We're looking at the staffing structure behind the club to take it forward, and there will be a variety of new people joining the backroom staff on the business element of the football club, and they'll be coming into key areas, people with specific specialisms in their areas to help us take the football club forward, looking at how we market, present, operate, deliver the football club in a far more modern and dynamic way. Exciting times ahead, but so much to do.
Just how important is that, not just investing in the infrastructure and the facilities here, but also investing in the people, both existing and who will be coming into the football club?
It's key. I say this to people all the time. We're not a factory that makes widgets. We're a people business. Football sport, it is a people business. Our players, our staff, our supporters, our stakeholders are all key. We are a people business at the end of the day, and we have to make sure that our environment is at an elite level. Just looking around the stadium from up here in the Alf Ramsey stand today, it reminds me of how big a stadium this is, but we need to give it some love, care and attention, and we need to bring it into the modern age.
Just finally on facilities, how are things looking at Playford Road, the training ground?
Good question. Playford Road is a totally separate project. Again, Kieran knows what good looks like, having come from one of the biggest football clubs in the world. Kieran, Martin and Rennie Gill-Martin are very clear with Andy Rolls on how they want Playford Road to operate. So again, we're looking at the 2 sites at Playford Road and how we best utilise. There'll be developments happening there, upgraded pitches at the summer, upgraded facilities at the summer. So much to do, but I'm delighted because I think this should give the supporters the comfort that the football club is going in the right direction. We're not just building for the short term here, we're trying to build sustainable success. To build sustainable success, you've got to invest in infrastructure. That's exactly what we're doing.
We are coming towards the time of year now where fans will be looking out for season ticket information for next season. What can you tell us on that one?
Yeah, by the end of the month, the plans are in place for season tickets. So by the end of the month, we will have announced and launched the season ticket campaign for next season. Fans have been absolutely fantastic. We've had so many highs this season with the supporters and the quantum of supporters here at Portman Road, 7,000 going down the road to MK Dons. It's been tremendous. We want to push on. We want more in next season. We need it. We've said before, this season isn't dead for sure, but we have to start planning for next season. So all I could say is to fans, when you get the application forms, get your seats early, get behind the football club. We're investing in the club, we're investing in your football club, but we need everyone together to take it forward.
and just finally quite a bit to digest there for the sport. There's a lot of projects going on, but there are 2 fans forums this month as well where you'll be able to explain all this in much more detail.
Yeah, for sure. We said we'd communicate openly with fans from the day we walked in. I think we've tried to do that. We've got some fans forums coming up, so we'll be able to take questions on all of the infrastructure projects that we've just talked about. But I think what we'll also do now is we'll start to communicate the specific projects in more detail via the club's media outlets, so that fans can get more and more detail and the depth of what those projects entail. But I go back to it. Big infrastructure projects taking place, big acquisition of the piece of land behind the Alf Ramsey stand. The football club is going in only one direction, and that's forward, both on and off the pitch. It's an exciting place to be. It's an exciting time for this football club, and I just want everyone to get involved and be part of it.